as we've got our updated select sheet here. And then there were four as I bring in Ook the Librarian. Ook, we've got Inphlox, last year's champion, going up against JonDatFlindo, who is riding, I would have to assume, one of the biggest competitive highs of his career so far.
Yeah, absolutely, JB. You talked about Savage kind of running the boss gamut, having to face Dimwit and then Frank, or and then Packy. I mean, Flindo is doing the 2021 boss run because he took down Frank, who was the runner-up last year, and now he's facing off up against Influx. This is an 8-12 match, but it's kind of weird because you really feel like the 12 seed Influx has the advantage here, as Flindo is giving up about a minute in the 10 to 13 average time. But this is his, let me pull up my notes. This is his third, yeah, third semifinal in a row. So, when you're talking about playoffs, you don't talk about who's got the best record. You talk about who's hottest right now, and Flindo might just be that person.
He could punch his ticket to his first ever finals in any bracket. So he is definitely prime. But again, Inflox is a great player. He's been highly competitive on both versus and speed. We saw him make good runs in 2021 and in 2022. And let's just get right to it here. We've got Flindo hailing from Texas, and I believe we've got Missouri for Influx. So a middle of America match here as these two getting warmed up here. These are levels 10 to 13, and we now go to a best of five. So these players can't just rest on their laurels with one win. They've got to pull out three wins here. It's going to be super super intense as we see these players automatically already going at it. I am I am just so hyped for this. We have these monthly tournaments, but there's just always something in the air, Ook, when we get to December.
Yeah, definitely. You never know kind of who's gonna be that player. And last year it was Influx just surprising everybody, turning it on when it really mattered. And so far, it seems like Flindo has been very glad to have that role. But we'll see if Influx is ready to end that Cinderella run. He does, now that Frank has been knocked off. He does own the longest current win streak at 9 games now. Or it might be 10.
And
Yes,
we've seen
could be
so
10.
far in this tournament, Flindo's done pretty good against undefeated players. So
Oh my goodness, I forgot to count last year. Yeah, it's like 14 or something. Who knows? It's long. Let's leave it at that. He's got the longest
yeah,
current win streak.
and he wants to be a repeating champion. We've never had a repeating champion in speed so far. 2020 was Dimwit, 2021 was Inflox, so maybe Inflox can be the first multi-speed champion, but he's got to win three games here. It looks like our information bar on the bottom is best of two. We will get that adjusted or excuse me, best of five. So we are going to get that adjusted for you. Shout out to the Dave. I know we're all just recovering from yesterday, so we're getting ready to go here. And we have already fired off the 3-2-1 pills. I didn't even notice these players lightning fast in getting readies. And off we go here. Good boards from both players. A lot of negative space in the middle of Inflox's board. Everything seems to be a little bit more clustered on Flindo's board. That could help him in terms of drop time, as it is pretty even right now, Ook.
Yeah, I'd say the real challenge has come up in color diversity for Influx. It was, I believe, a lack of yellow in his early board, but now that he has flipped he's flipped a pill the wrong way, and Flindo showed us last night you can't do that with him on the other side because he will take advantage of it. With Flindo, he had some color disadvantage early, but has managed to get far enough into the board without that being a problem. We'll see if cleaning up that misdrop for Influx is going to take too much time, but now he's getting yellow and he doesn't need that.
Yeah, and we saw Influx really put together a nice little comeback from that little mistake and really just clear out a ton of reds and really start cracking into the bottom of this board. He's still got to address that right side. Meanwhile, Flindo is playing an even top line so far, nothing really straggling out, no spires to speak of. So, as far as speed clearing goes, this is the board you want. You want to have very little drop time, open gaps to see what you can do horizontally, because horizontal plays will absolutely be a factor in end games. And we see this right now as it's going to be a combo on that right side for Flindo, opening up the yellow on the bottom. And this is just going to be an easy drop play. He's down to one, holding on to a huge lead over Inphlox right now. We're about to cross the 2 minute mark, but before we do, at 158, Flindo out of 10 first.
Yeah, Flindo definitely got some really good pill combinations there. You know, the doctor was giving him exactly what he needed, and that led to a really solid end game. Now, Influx is also looking at a very clean end game. He's out at a 217, but that puts him about, what do we say, 17, 18 seconds behind JonDatFlindo. So right now it is Flindo with a lead. Not terribly commanding, but there's still a lot of Dr. Mario left to play.
And it's starting to be a problem with yellows for Flindo right now, is he doesn't really have anything he can easily access. So he's putting garbage down on purpose just to get things settled. And I'm looking at Inflox's board here, preliminary, as he's already halfway through it. He's caught up almost essentially. There's a lot of double opportunities on Inflox's board. He can make some really nice combos here. In fact, he's going to drop down for just to get four off the board. He's still a couple of viruses behind though, but he's managed to come back after a really rough 10.
Yeah, the doc has been giving him the yellow that he needs, and you know, when you see as much yellow as Influx has had on his board, it can really mean trouble. But you know, luckily the doctor hasn't been that cruel to him yet. Um, you know, he apparently saved all that for the 10,
Great.
and yeah, just a
I was
good
just
play.
about to say, great combo by Flindo on the bottom. He was really starting to set up that drop cross. Finally got the pills to fire it off. And this double yellow, hugely fortuitous. He's going to be out of yellow, but these players now, again, neck and neck. It's 8-6, but we see a lot of horizontal doubles on the board right now for Flindo. But he is going to be cut off from that horizontal red in row one. So he's going to have to clear that manually. He goes ahead and does that. And now he's forced to clear that blue in row three. Meanwhile, Influx, just a handful of blues. Doesn't looks like he didn't particularly like that play, but he's going to get a double blue and then a blue yellow. He's going to be out first at a 405, but Flindo just behind here. He's going to be out at a 410. So 5 seconds between these players as we're halfway through this first game.
And that's really nothing when it comes to the amount of time that it's going to take to finish this one out. You know, we're looking at 7, 8 minute plus runs, or 8, 9 minute plus runs. This is you know, at 5, 10 seconds, that means nothing when it comes to how much RNG the doctor can really give.
And if you look at clear rate, that's usually generally with these players, a couple of viruses. So it's ground that can be easily made up here. However, it's been a strong start here for Flindo. He's already down to 30, carrying an 8 virus lead over Influx, who's struggling to break through this, what is a huge blockade, almost 3 full rows of viruses for Influx. It's tough to do it's tough to work out when you're planning things, trying to get your sequences going. However, the benefit of those clustered viruses means very minimal drop time here. And it looks like there's a big struggle here for Influx. He's not really getting anything helpful.
Yes, that is a real issue that Influx is having to deal with. On Flindo's side, he just got rid of his last
Whoa.
blue a few minutes ago, and oh yeah, now I see what you're owing about, or rather, I don't see it because it's all gone. Um, I was just gonna say, Flindo, dealing with probably the only, maybe one or two misdrops that we've seen from him this match, as he's now gotten past all of that, but it was small, but the doctor, you know, he and the doctor have apparently worked out a little agreement. Things are working out for him, but yeah, Influx with that massive combo has managed to retake the lead here.
And it's still close. It's an exclusive blue board here, and you see Influx getting creative. He's going to drop that stack of blue garbage down to combo out. He's going to be out at a 605, but just needing a couple of reds here is Flindo. Is the doctor going to give them to him? Oh my goodness. Goes for that tuck play. I don't know if that's the play. I would have gone for the horizontal and then cleared that vertical, but he's out at about a 618 here as these players into the final level in this first game.
Yeah, this is really tight. Hopefully Flindo is noticing that he's got a setup. He just needs a yellow blue that he's He's already tossed one. Hopefully he notices the other, but there it is. Gets the combo that he was looking for. Unfortunately, it took him just a little bit longer than he would have hoped. And that has, left Inphlox about 3 viruses ahead as we look at it, but still about 3/4 of this level to play.
And I'm looking here. This is a really, really risky setup by Flindo, but he does get things to fire off, and he dropped the stack. He had a double yellow earlier, and sometimes it's just the play to sacrifice the potential play and clear garbage. But Flindo didn't agree, and he's going to get a nice drop combo here. He's just going to have a stack of red garbage here. But Influx starting to pull away here. It's about a 10 virus advantage. But again, this is a situation where Flindo doesn't really see a lot of drop time in his future with all those clusters of viruses, and he's starting to make his moves now as he is at 29, and we're seeing Influx here. Influx with a majority of yellow on his board. Not really a lot of good access to red. He could definitely sneak a double red down into row number 2 as Flindo tucking down a double yellow and getting a couple more off the board here. It is 20-14 here as we get into the end game for these players.
Yeah, Flindo has been really he's gotten some good RNG. He had a bit of a red blitz that could have crippled him if it had lasted any longer. Luckily for him, it did not. But as we see Influx down to just red and yellow, and if the doctor will just cooperate with him, he might be able to take this one fairly quickly here. But it is 6-9. It's still very close. We've got Flindo with really good setups ready to go. He's got a nice combo, but the doctor has got to give him the pills that he needs. Here comes one of them. Decides against it, but
But
Influx out at an 829.
and this is still a good end game here. I think there were a couple of plays that Flindo could have made a little bit more aggressively and given himself here a little bit more of a shout, but he is still going to get a very strong time. These are both great times. Under 9 minutes is phenomenal for both these players. So an 8:44 for Flindo. Flindo going to be down 0-1 to the champ as Influx had a bit of a rough start, but turned it around in that late game, and that's why he's the current champ.
Yeah, and the difference between these two players historically is for Flindo, that's about 15 seconds below his average. For Influx, that's about 30 seconds above his average. So, we're still waiting for Influx to really pop off here, but Flindo showing that he has got what it takes to hang with the champ.
And we're going to see how much more he can hang as we start game 2 here. We've got the countdown from the Dave, 3, 2, 1, and pills, and off we go. Good boards from both players as a nice quick double. That board vision's so important. Sometimes you can just fire something off right at the top here. Helps build that momentum. And we're seeing Flindo do that. And he's struggling a little bit. Getting some blue-yellow, not exactly a favorable piece combination, but he's working things out here. I like this drop combo. He's down to 33, and he's holding on to an early lead.
Yeah, Flindo definitely playing what you might consider a dimwit style play where he's being a little more methodical, taking an extra second at the top of the board to make sure that he puts the pieces exactly where he wants to. That can, that can be a problem if you're facing somebody like Packy who constantly has his down press. And it does stand in stark contrast to what Influx has declared one of his strats, which is make bad moves fast. Uh, where it doesn't matter as much to him how, if it's got to be a bad move, he's going to make the decision quickly. And he hasn't had to make a lot of those, but that is definitely a contrast in styles between these two.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely subscribe to that play bad fast thing. If you have to make a mistake, just commit to it and deal with it as you can. We're getting here into 90 seconds, and I gotta say the board health favor right now goes to Flindo. He's playing an incredibly clean board, but Influx is already down to his final virus out at a minute 36. Flindo's gonna get a good sequence here to get a couple in a row, a double blue and then a blue red. So he's gonna stay in this out at a minute 43, minute 44 right in that range. So these players neck and neck here, but a very, very limited amount of red for Flindo. And he starts with a red blitz. That's brutal.
That is really tough. Yeah, Influx, like you said, the board health didn't look great as he was finishing up his level 10, but He had everything pretty much ready-made for a combo and, did pull off one kind of nice big combo, and that cleared out most of everything, and that is why he is where he is, just a little bit ahead, as we are finding our way through this level 11, JB.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Flindo's got the Spire here in column 6, and he's kind of just danced around it. He's had a couple of opportunities to try to combo it down, and he's just not quite doing it. As we see a big combo over on Inflox's side, but I say that Flindo is neck and neck with the champ right now, as he's about to get another nice little drop combo here. Nice tuck there earlier on the double yellow to get that play to fall, and we see Flindo now getting some unfavorable RNG, but making the most out of it. But Influx once again pulling away here, but he is limited in his blue play right now.
Yeah, influx, it's something he's gonna have to deal with. It looks like he is committing to a horizontal on that yellow. He's already got this horizontal on his blue setup. He's got his yellows. I mean, everything is just coming up influx for him. And there's the pill that he needs to finish this off. Whereas Flindo is still, he's showing off those swim moves that he is fast becoming famous for. But unfortunately, it's just not proven to be enough in this level 11. But as we said earlier, there is still quite a bit of Dr. Mario left to play, as we've got 2 more levels after this one.
And a fat log with a little bit of a stump sticking out there for Flindo, as he is down to his final two and commits to the blue first, and he's going to be out at a 351. So Flindo's got to be a little frustrated here. That wasn't his best 11, but he's got an opportunity to bounce back here. I see a lot of double opportunities on this board for our 8 seed.
Yeah, and that's definitely better than what Influx had going on. He just a second ago was completely out of blue access and has again frozen it up. Of course, he's found ways to use it, but every time that he finds ways to use this blue, it's just one more opportunity that goes away as soon as he uses it. So not finding a lot of use for his blue, and if the doctor decides to hit him with a lot of it, that's going to be problematic as he sets up this really nice combo. He's going to get a T. He did not choose to do it when I thought he was going to. Uh, it's
And
the T right here.
we're seeing Influx with a great T right there, and it's something that if you're a casual player to this game, or you've played it for a long time, it cannot be stressed enough how important the horizontal clears are in this game. They can really set you up for really nice combos, as we saw there from Flindo right now. He's down to 12. He's making a big comeback here. But it's 2 to go here for Influx. Now 1 just needing some reds, and he's going to get a double red. Very fortuitous out at 511. And just because Flindo is behind does not mean he's playing badly. In fact, it's quite the opposite. He's just getting some tough RNG, but he's making great decisions with it here. 5 viruses to go. This is where things can get a little dicey. You really want to get something favorable RNG wise. And you see he drops that yellow piece down. That's so he can access that red in the corner without having to force a combo. And that's a very, very smart decision. And it's something you're going to see a lot playing this game, is where you're forced to make that combo clear to get to something. And these players very, very good at managing their board. Is Flindo out at a 545?
Yeah, a little bit of a head shake from Flindo. He knows that was a bit of a rough level, but when he's playing behind, he knows he's playing from behind now. But the question is, how much does that affect his play style? And
You've
ooh,
Yeah, and you've kind of got to throw the wait and see play style out of the window when you're behind as much as Flindo is. He's down by, if my math is right, about 17 viruses as we stand. So he's really got to play aggressively. He may go to that make plays bad fast style that Influx likes to do. He knows he's behind the 8 ball, and being down 0-2. What a nice little tuck there. Did you see that?
yep,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
that's why he's the captain of the swim team. Uh, that's his thing. Flindo has made the declaration that swimming is what he wants to be known for, and is quickly proving why, as he gets just a really nice combo to bring it back within 15, 16 viruses.
Well, as Flindo continues to do his best Michael Phelps impersonation, we're going to take a look at Inflox's board as well. One
Yeesh.
blue virus, and it's tucked in the corner, and you see this massive spire. Now he's completely devoid of blue, so he's gonna have to make each one of these pill halves count, and you see him doing it there. Having that stack of doubles on that spire is gonna be incredibly beneficial. It allows Influx to maybe take a couple of drops, or he may go horizontal here. Maybe it's looking like that. Maybe he was considering that setup and then just going for a big quad clear, but he has since changed his mind. He's going to be down to 2 viruses here. And I don't know if this is going to be a record time, but it's going to be darn close if this yellow blitz stops happening. My goodness. As Flindo down to his final 8, and Influx just needing a red. And there it goes out at a sub 8, a 7:44 unofficial time for Influx. What a run, Ook.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're very close to seeing 2 sub 7s. In fact, we're going to get 2 sub 8s, I mean, because there's Flindo out at a 756. So just phenomenal play from both of our players. And yeah, with those spires on the right-hand side, if the match had been any closer, we would have been looking at a photo finish there. Both
Oh,
players really
it's
putting it to it.
that's got to be tough. You get that sub 8 in competition. You're like, yeah, and you're like, oh. And
Yes,
again,
indeed.
we're seeing these players just play out of their minds right now. Influx looking to put this away and punch his ticket to the finals, where he'll face the winner of our next semifinal, which is Atalito versus Savage Octagon. But let's not talk about that. We got to talk about this match as we're waiting on readies.
Yeah, Flindo is now facing down the need for a reverse sweep, and he is not unaccustomed to doing that, and certainly not incapable of it. I'd say we're going to at least 4 here, JV. That's my unofficial call. I just say that partially because I want to see at least one more match out of these guys beyond the one that
Yeah.
we're about to
We
watch.
don't we don't we don't want to see sweeps at this level. We want to see highly competitive matches, and Flindo has been playing as well as he could. But when you're going up against the champ, you've just got to eke out a little bit more. So maybe we'll see a little bit more aggressiveness out of Flindo as these two get started. 3, 2, 1 pills, and a good strong start here for both players. Influx already eliminating a lot of viruses off that top line down to 38. Flindo again getting blue yellow, and it's not of any help to him currently. He's down to 34 as these players get started.
Yeah, Flindo's board is a little bit higher right now, but everything is pretty well accessible. I do like where things are going. With Influx, we're seeing that just heavy blue on his top line. He's finally worked his way down below that, and as you can see, already had the setups ready for taking out those horizontals. That's kind of his bread and butter here lately, and it's really proving effective. Now he's going to be able to get these doubles, and great double-double combo there.
Really, really nicely done horizontally. Flindo has been uh, trying to get this middle of his board hunkered down. He's down to 14. You may have heard me gasp a little earlier because anytime I see pill fragments in that center section up from the second to last row up, especially in these early levels, is a great combo there by Flindo, gets him down to 5. You just get a little bit scared because you don't want to see a top out. Top outs are always brutal, but they're especially brutal when we get to this sort of level of gameplay as it's 3-2 here. And Influx is going to be out first at a 131, but it looks like it's going to be a combo out here for Flindo. Flindo's going to be out at a 137. So again, very, very close as we go into 11.
And those are good level 8, level 7 times. These two are really it's hard to look at it and go, "Oh yeah, that's, this player's doing better than this player." No, these are two players who are playing incredibly quick, incredibly smart play. It's just a real treat to watch these two as they are giving us quite a show.
They're absolutely putting on a clinic right now, and if you're new to the game or looking to improve, watching these players strats definitely will do that for you. These players play, what casual players might call a little bit too aggressively, but to get these good solid times to open up other opportunities, you've got to look several more rows down the board and clear vertically as well as horizontally, and we're seeing that here as Influx pulling out to a lead here, and we're seeing him just cascade garbage down. little bit of a stack of garbage in that third column. But he's got himself a lot of opportunities to get it taken care of. A nice drop cross there, putting him down to 10 viruses. Flindo sitting at just 10 more at 20 here, and Influx looking to shut the door here early.
Yeah, the doctor is not being the kindest to Flindo with this piece layout. All of his viruses were very spread out on the left and right hand sides. He has managed to get through most of it, but um, the doctor just not being very kind to JonDatFlindo in this level. But as you can see, it's still a very close game. As Influx out at a 326, and Flindo finding horizontals. Now he's going to have to take this red vertically. He's probably going to be setting up to take the yellow horizontally, not getting in any way ideal setups for that, but he is going to be out at a 342. So about 14 seconds between these two players now.
Yeah, and a very strong piece sequence to end there. He knew what he was doing. He got it set up. He got the RNG, and a little bit of a course correction. He was looking at that next box. Very, very important to do that. You want to make sure you've got everything you need to succeed here. And we're going to see a nice little combo setup potentially here by Flindo. And there it is. He's going to get that drop down. He's at 42, and that's that methodical play. You see him make course corrections, make sure that he's able to just get further down the board. Doesn't play too aggressively, and it is helping him here as he's down to 38. It's 5 viruses behind, but we see that strength in Flindo, getting that end game set up and keeping pace here with our current champion.
Yeah, and what Influx is looking at right now is a board that he does not like. As has been mentioned before, the man does not like having any drop time whatsoever, and was known, I believe, in last year's versus championship to just do anything possible to avoid it. And the center of this board was just so deep. We saw him take, I think, 10 rows of drop time, which is so un-Influx. So the fact that he's managed to get through this without losing his mind has been really something.
Yeah, and that drop time equates to about a quarter of a second per row. So that's 2.5 seconds where you're paralyzed. You can't do anything. It does give you time to maybe further examine the board, but you really just want to keep throwing these vitamins down and clearing these out as Influx blazing throughout at a 524. So Influx into 20 or into 23, into 13 first. And Flindo is going to have a nice short stack here, and he's playing a clean board here, but Influx just playing faster.
Yeah, and that's we're seeing seeing more and more of that out of Influx as Flindo just needs two more reds. He's going to be out at a 550, but yeah, Influx definitely in the driver's seat here as Flindo now needs to just play the best 13 he's ever played if he wants to continue this competition.
He absolutely will, and we're seeing some great drop combos here from Influx. You talking about him not liking that drop time. You see a lot of these viruses clustered together. That's very optimal if you're Influx, as it is 47 to 28 here. Influx trying to punch his ticket to the championship round. Flindo just trying and hoping that the RNG cooperates, and it is not. Very, very brutal sequence going on here right now. He's not able to crack that top line. He's consistently getting blue yellows, which he can't do anything with. And he has no blue viruses on his top line either. So very, very brutal 13. This is not how you want to go out. And you can see it. He is shaking his head. This is tough.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of what Paki was facing at the end of his match last night with Savage. It was just, you hate to see it because this is the final level, presumably in what has been an excellent match, and to see it really the result to be decided on some really bad RNG sequences. That's not what we want to see, but regardless, it's been a heck of a match between these two players as Influx out at a 721. GG's to both players. This has been a heck of a match and a great way to start this semifinal round.
And Atalito, who we're going to see here in a few minutes, saying these times are like that they're playing level 6. That's what you get here in the championship rounds. And we're going to see Flindo finish this one out. down to his final 25 viruses. And huge props to Flindo. Flindo's in the money no matter what here as far as standings go. Our third and fourth place players will each win $50. So little bit of a thank you, and I love that. I love that just hyper swim right there. It's Michael Phelps worthy as Flindo, I think, maybe starting to realize this one is over, but is going to put on a show here for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you hit that 8-minute mark, you're looking over going, is it time? Is it time? Uh, yeah, unfortunately it is. But these two, yeah, just put on a really fun game. If you like what you've seen, be sure to follow both of them. Also follow the channel because that's the best place to see these guys and other wonderful players take on the Doctor and each other, but mostly the Doctor, every month.
And every so often, Chris Bidwell and I will hop on stream and do silly things. A few weeks back, we played some classics on the Virtual Console on the Switch, and, and oh, a nice combo there from Flindo.
Wasn't the one he was looking for, though. Oh, it was very close. Yeah, Flindo getting a bit of a swan song, getting played out here. Where's Piano Cat when you need him? Actually, Koji is probably somewhere nearby. Koji, his cat, named after Koji Kondo, uh, the musician behind the Mario music. Not this Mario music, but other Mario music.
And we're just waiting on that last yellow as there it is, a 938. But JonDatFlindo, fourth, is going to be in our top four no matter what. So congratulations to him. But Inphlox will be seeing here with a chance to defend his championship. He's earned his way to the finals, and a GG there from Flindo as well. Much love between our competitors. We love seeing it, and we love seeing all of you. And in fact, we're going to see you here in a few minutes. Before we do, if you want to contribute to our Matcherino, you can do !Matcherino in our chat and help build that prize pool up, because if we can get that to $500, we can pay out top 8, and we would love to be able to do that. But that is it for me for now. I'll be back here for our championship match, but we've got an announcement for Player of the Year on the other side of this break, as well as our second semifinal. It's going to be a good one. Third-seeded Atalito versus seventh-seeded Savage Octagon. Ook and Chris Bidwell will be bringing you all that action on the other side of this break. This is the Dr. Mario Championship.
All right, it's 3, 2, 1 pills.
Away we go.
Yep. So, Atalito again rocking the super late o'clock strats as he is in Turkey and it is late there. But he's been doing that all season, and I won't say it hasn't been affecting him, but man, oh man, he hasn't let it destroy his game.
What a trooper.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There are people who want to be here, and then there's Atalito. So we're watching both players get a good start on this one as Atalito out to just a little bit of a lead as they get about halfway through this level 10.
No major gaps in either board. We got a diversity throughout the board, not a lot of garbage buildup. I mean, this is perfect play that you'd expect. So Savage
is hoping. There it is. I love that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the tuck play seems cool, but it's the microseconds that those can take out when you're facing a top end player. Maybe you make a decision to play the move that doesn't require tucking and moving around, but so far it's pretty much a tie game. Savage with a slight lead, but this will end here in a moment. Although there's only one blue virus now on Savage's board.
And she was facing down that double red blitz. Luckily, she's got a place for red right now, as she decides not to go with the double horizontal, is going to instead rebuild the horizontal again. I'm assuming that's what her plan is because, it's going to be very difficult to set this up. But she is now with a pretty solid lead as Atalito getting a bit hamstrung during his end game, and Savage added about a 147.
Oh, and he decides to. He's going to get fancy with this. Okay.
Yeah, he's got everything
And
set
out.
up. There
Yep.
it goes.
That's another thing. When you set up the fancy setups, you're always taking the risk that you're not going to get the perfect pill sequence to finish out that last piece. That didn't cost him too much time, but again, when you're dealing with if you're playing versus, you tighten up your game slightly when you're against a top player. Maybe you don't take the chances that you normally do against an average opponent. So you wonder how much that plays into each of these player strategies.
Yeah, that's definitely got something to do with it. As we see Savage with a little bit of garbage that she's having to deal with on that right hand side. She does get through that, but she's left with very little access to her blues. She is finding these good smart tuck plays, good just smart plays altogether. Doesn't get the flip on that double blue that I think she was looking for. Probably one of those where you hear it click, but it doesn't actually happen. And that is plays like that, like you've been saying, Atalito can take advantage of anything, and he does now. He has found his way back into this game.
He's waiting for that double red, and you see the NES RNG just not giving him that double red until now. Finally gets the sweet tea, but he was waiting for that for a good 30 more seconds.
Yeah, and that red, I mean, he's needed a lot of red to get deep into this board. Now he's really hoping for a double blue because he's got this
Oh, okay.
angled
No,
fat log
he's
set up.
doing this setup, but maybe
Yeah, now he's dependent on two double blues. He gets one and decides to use it there and decides to just give up on his setup. Savage out at a 342 and Atalito getting a little bit hamstrung by his setups, but he is one. He was missing one of the reds, and that is going to slow him quite a bit down.
it's it was the perfect plan minus one pill half.
Yep.
Still in this game, he's only down 5. Two levels to go. This is not over. It's just a little bit of a setback. Savage
Yeah.
has been playing her steady, smart, efficient game. She's not the pound down on the down button every pill. It's a meticulous game. Lots of
Yeah.
sweet teas, of course.
Yeah. Savage.
And everybody's applauding the H in chat, which is a pretty rare move in Dr. Mario. So gotta applaud it when it actually happens.
Yeah, Savage is a pupil of Dimwit. The two of them spent quite a bit of time working on her game, and you can see that, like you said, in her very methodical play. It doesn't require a whole bunch of, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's get it all done very quickly. Instead, it's smart play, and most matches it can come down to whoever makes the fewest mistakes is who wins. And that's really what she's counted on, and it's working out for her at the moment. Although Atalito
Atalito's
is
taking the lead again, but we knew this was going to be back and forth.
yes, indeed.
I'm going to get neck shortening surgery in the off season to try to improve my Dr. Mario game.
I mean, it might work.
I probably won't, but nothing else works. Why not try it?
All right, so Atalito just 2 reds away. He's going to get one. He's got his second. He's out at a 542. So Savage still a little bit behind, but with this combo and just a couple more good pieces, and the doctor says, nope, you're not getting the pieces. In fact, here's a 50-50. Oh, and she made the wrong call. The 50-50s are really tough, but she's out at a 559, just under 6 minutes.
That's a nice look at those. That's N64 quality virus placement there on this particular setup. You don't see the doubles as much in the NES version, and when you do get them, as a speedrunner's delight.
Yeah, the SNES is also quite a bit better about things like this, but now we're looking at Savage without any access to blue, and Atalito again making one of these hero setups. He's got all these doubles to work with, but the question is he going to get the pill halves that he needs?
He's got to be careful to not lock up the game too. Okay, he does take it a little conservative with giant air quotes. I hope you could hear me air quoting that when I said conservative.
Yeah, definitely not his not his general style. But that has left him mostly free and clear, and we are, yeah, looking at a great combo there from Atalito. He's going to have to figure out these blues horizontally and just kind of figure out when he wants to do that. Looks like soon,
Red burst.
but yeah, the reds and the yellows not going to help him out with that. And he is out at a 724. Goodness.
Hmm. How many sub 8s we had tonight? Is that
I believe that makes 4.
wow? A big target to shoot for next year. This is a preview of what's to come in our sport.
Yeah, I count them. I call them. I can't count them. But yeah, that's a heck of a first game from Atalito, and it looks like Savage is very close to getting it. I don't know if she's going to get the yellows that she needs.
Oh,
Uh, oh,
she's gonna.
okay. She's gone ahead and pulling the plug on this one. Nearly had a sub 8 herself, and that is exactly what we want to see.
That's why we're best 3 of 5.
Absolutely.
Take a deep breath here. Get a restart back to 10. Both playing at chill. Both playing at high speed. I'm liking this. Ready?
Atalito says he's saving his best times. All right, 3, 2, 1 pills. Here we go. One of the benefits of playing on keyboard is you get a chance to type in whatever you want to say in chat. I wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Chris?
No, that's I will save my snarky comments about keyboard play. Some of our best players are on keyboard, obviously, and we have our live tournament where you got to go with old school controllers. So I'm happy that we have the 2 different flavors of our sport.
Oh, you're here for this one. That's a question I actually had. What about the NES Advantage? Is that even allowed in the tournament?
I don't see why the disadvantage would be. It's not a great left and right controller.
It's
It's
really
kind of
not.
it's kind of mushy. I know in CTWC one year, somebody tried to qualify with an NES Advantage and didn't do so great with it. So I don't think we necessarily ban it because I don't think turbo would on the buttons would really help you.
No, there's no real advantage. But yeah, I was just curious because I remember seeing that it's been, uh, official NES controllers, and I was like, I
Yep.
wonder. All
Yep.
right, so Atalito staring down the barrel of a lot of red, Savage staring down the barrel of a lot of blue, and yeah,
The yellow
they
burst.
both need a lot of help.
He needs a lot of red right now. And
Sweet tea.
see, I missed it. I'm looking at this bread buildup because he's got the trigger for the yellow combo.
Yeah, Savage pulled off a nice little T clear there. Gets a nice combo. The doctor finally giving her some blue, and we'll see if it's going to be enough to keep her moving forward.
And it's just the little precision moves like that tuck right there, especially on controller, especially on console. Well, I think she's obviously playing on emulator because of the clarity of her screen.
Yeah, I can confirm that's what she plays on. So Atalito out at a 158, so a little bit slower than the last game, but I mean, that's like saying that, it's a little bit shorter than the Burj Khalifa. Everything is. That last game was insane. Savage out at about a 212, so good play from both players, but definitely Atalito with the lead at the moment.
No red available for Atalito. This is Savage's door slightly ajar. Play some catch up and perhaps take that lead.
The problem is the only red that Savage has available is going to need a double to do anything about it, and she's taking care of some garbage at the moment. So, yeah, she's fighting it herself, although is down to within about 8 or 9 viruses of the lead here.
I mean, there's something cooking on Atalito's side, but it's all yellow on the left side, and it's kind of got a dip in the middle there. It's not the greatest board build, but he does have the lead.
Savage pulling off
is
these great combos.
and tight. Not a lot of drill downs. I saw a lot of drill downs in the last game. Inphlox had some tremendous times. Those are my biggest pet peeve because with a drill down, it drops down the additional pill drops down 4 segments, which is an entire second. So you try to avoid those when you can, but sometimes that is the best play. This particular round, neither player, you've seen a lot of drill downs.
Yeah, and Savage with a very clean board has managed to take the lead here. And looks like, I mean, I know Atalito's got combos out the wazoo. Never mind about them keeping
Yeah,
it. I'm glad he saved me from saying that I thought she was going to keep it. Here comes Atalito with about a
45,
345. Yeah, Savage at a
7-second difference.
352.
There
Yeah.
we go.
So it looks like a mess only when you're not paying attention to it. And then all of a sudden, hey, look, it's taken care of.
That's the
That
fun part.
is,
It makes us commentators, we're in awe of their game. Our viewers are in awe of the game. When we are up on YouTube and people are watching this kind of casually, and it's like, oh, wait, how did all those disappear? And then you go back and rewind it and kind of try to focus on pill by pill. And it takes people 5 to 10 minutes to figure out how the heck they did it. And they're doing all this in real time. It's really amazing stuff.
yeah, there's only about 4 players who really play that way and can do it well. And, you know, two of them being, when two of them are Frank and Adelito, you know, that's a heck of of company to be staying in.
Savage is getting a little too high on her right side, kind of like a stair step all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, she's building a nice Tetris board. That's what this is.
Yeah. This is no, you don't want your left well. Come on.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but
Although it's an extra tap to get that piece over to the left side. It's okay. We don't need to start tapping.
No, we really don't. But that's my own personal opinion, and should not be a detriment to all of the Tetris players who are coming into this.
Look at this.
By all
So
means,
tight
play your
on
game.
Atalito there. 524. He shakes his head like he's not happy with this board, and he's
Can't
just
imagine
steadily
why.
increased his lead every level here, and now he's at the final level.
Savage saying, "Hey, look, I can do combos too." Done really nice, just double clear setup, and oh, she would love to have had that blue already in
Oh,
place, but she's gonna get this one. Very
nice.
nice. But at this point, it's, you know, we're looking at Adelito's board to lose, as he is firmly in the driver's seat here. We've seen Savage come up with some insane comebacks over the last couple of years, but this one is going to be a tough one. Not saying she can't do it, just saying that it's going to be a difficult one to do. But she wants to do that if she can, and stretch this into at least 4 games. Otherwise, Adelito's going to be looking down an opportunity to get a sweep.
And the winner gets that guaranteed $100 as well as a trophy. We have trophies again for our top 2 players. The classic blue pill for the winner, and the teardrop for the runner-up.
Excellent, excellent. Now with about 20 viruses of an advantage, you know, Inphlox can just kind of put it on cruise here. He's not going to because he's Inphlox. But
Inphlox is on chat.
yeah, he's not. He's not Inphlox. No, he's Atalito.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
twice I've done that in this tournament. It's been a long couple of days there, Bidwell, since we started this off.
You guys have been amazing, getting all those 11 matches in under 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
Kudos to everybody on the team getting it all pulled off.
But man, what a great combo from Atalito as he gets everything set up and gets the double to knock it out.
There's another sub 8.
732. Wow. I mean, wow. I gotta check our hot times board. I haven't looked at that at all for the 10 to 13. Get this pulled up here, and 732 is good enough for 10th place, unless Inphlox beat that out last time. I don't know. Maybe it's 11th place now. I don't know.
Sub 8's good stuff, especially
Absolutely.
on championship pressure. This isn't speedrun.com where you can reset your game a million times to get that one perfect run. This is taking your one shot and doing it. So I like our leaderboard better with that format of competition.
Sub 8 is Sub 8's going to get you a top 25 time at the moment.
Out of how many matches we've played over
here? Oh no, this is a brand new level set for this year. So it has only been this year's times, but we've only had Atalito this year, so
3
There's
times, 2 times 12. So there's
11.
there's the 11. This is the 11th one, right? So haven't quite got to 100 yet, but we're getting there. Top 10 is good stuff. All right, off we go. 3, 2, 1 pills. Savage Octagon with that intimidating icon that was made maybe in MS Paint. Even if it wasn't, you could make that in MS Paint, and it's an accurate stop sign, and I'm all here for it.
Wow, Atalito looking a little frustrated with the top line of his board, and I can't say I blame him. That's just it's an ugly board.
You got a place to put reds, but like every red you're placing, you're using that time and building extreme cavities. So not optimal.
And to be honest, Savages is not terribly optimal either with that completely empty column 7 and just very limited access to her colors are very spotty. She's got a lot of stairwells of different colors, and it's not ideal, but she's doing the best she can with it, and the best she can is pretty darn good.
Yeah, now it's become a garbage pit. You want to try to work as much on the left as possible, but a lot of those pieces aren't going to fit in your pile, so you kind of keep chipping away. And all these extra down moves, you can see how much more efficient Atalito is at getting this down. But you play what the game gives you.
He's not. He really wants to avoid doing these reds in his bottom corner in any way except horizontal or as a double. Not that it really matters, but
Atalito's
burning
making
a
a setup
lot
here
of pills.
as he's not getting that yellow to get his perfect setup, and he's got red blue everywhere. When you finish a speedrun board and you see that many extra pills on your board, you know that's not been your best run, but he's still going to have the lead, getting a 150.
Yeah, Savage is
needs 2
if
blues.
if she gets a double blue, this is going to be great for her, but does not.
One more. It's not one of those situations where you require the double blue to finish it.
No,
she's right there.
She would have loved it. So still out at sub 2 minutes, and that's perfectly good. That's a good time. As Atalito dealing with some garbage situation on his right hand side, that was he started making plans and they didn't quite work out for him, so he abandoned them pretty quickly and is now having to figure out what do I do with everything that's left. What he does is clear it all out before I get done talking about it, but regardless, playing quite well and getting some good combination play out as
you can see Savage's indecision with that yellow pieces. It's just there's nowhere to put them. There's no good combos to make at this point. You don't want to build way up and then make a horizontal trigger. It's too inefficient, and I can feel the frustration.
Yeah,
and just her indecision of moving back and forth. Like, what the frick do I do with this stupid pill?
That giant barge in the middle. I mean, the last thing she needs for her right now is blue yellows. Literally the last pills she could possibly use. We've got a frozen Savage.
Well, I know she didn't rage quit. We'll get her back.
No. Atalito out at a 329, which again is not a terribly unheard of time in levels level 6 and 7. In fact, it's a fairly normal time for a lot of players in level 6 and 7.
That drop cross, good stuff.
Oh, here comes another one.
That's a regular cross after that is just kind of, The ice skaters who do the complex jump first and the combination into the smaller jump. That's kind of what that was like.
Oh,
I think he meant to flip that. He's like, oh.
yep, he absolutely meant to flip that. As Savage just maintaining a time of 3 minutes and 15 seconds, no matter what. I think that's going to be her finish time. So GG's to her. We're going to go to a game 4. No, I'm joking.
We're gonna
I
go
have to say I'm
match for
joking.
now.
I have to say I'm joking because I know Atalito listens to the stream.
As far as we know, you were well in the lead, so let's finish it out. We will get
keep
that
playing, my
official
guy.
time up.
We're just having a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll get Savage Octagon back very soon, but till then, Atalito is just cruising right through here, knocking out these combos, doing it in stereo, uh, and that's something to see.
Well, I'm going to look at the right Atalito. You look at the left Atalito. Let's see if we
All
have a
right,
difference.
yeah.
There's a
All right,
Savage.
we got Savage back, and she is at the top of level 12.
Fighting all the way to the end.
Absolutely. And, we got about a half level's difference between these two as Atalito decides not to go for that triple at the bottom just yet. Had some other plans in mind and, proving that he's a better player than I am because I would have gotten greedy and just gone for it. So here he goes getting the pills that he needs. He's going to be out of this 12 with 2 more blues. He gets them both out at a 538.
And by looking at his face, you'd think he's on the verge of advancing to the finals, getting a bigger part of that prize pool, getting that trophy. But the look on his face is all business.
The look on his face says to me, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning here.
Oh, well, there's that too. Okay. Looking good here. Savage. We're hoping she gets down so that she's not lapped. I don't think she will be.
No, I don't expect her to get lapped in this one. But Atalito putting together some nice combos as he's just not getting the pills that he really wants.
But the rhythm's there.
A lot of garbage.
You can feel that he's making a snap decision. He's moving laterally, then pressing down. It's almost rhythmic. There's no lack of decision making there. Look at that. Beautifully done. What a setup.
What garbage? Didn't see any garbage.
I know.
There's no garbage.
He made garbage aid.
Oh my gosh. I see what he's doing this time, and it's just insane. That's the thing is, we're having to watch both players here. Savage out at a 655. But it's really, we have to look away from one player to the other. And when you look away from Atalito, you have no idea what it is he's planning until it drops. And if you're not looking at it when it drops, you look back over and go, oh wait, where did all the rest of his viruses go?
It's such a multi-dimensional game. Tetris is a single dimension. You're only going lateral moves that go all across the board. Whereas Dr. Mario, you've got vertical and horizontal, plus you're trying to eliminate pieces underneath the top line of play. And a lot of players like myself get hyper focused on one or two areas, and seeing all this stuff develop underneath the board, it's just really impressive. And if you can get 3 more reds, we'll get yet another sub 8. There it is.
749. GG's to Atalito for that.
Atalito in the finals. Guaranteed $100.
Still got one more. That was only game 2, partner.
Oh, that was only game 2? I thought that was 3. Okay. My bad.
I believe so.
I can't count either.
Oh, okay. It is 3. I'm sorry. I was miscounting the crowns there. So yeah, that is game 3. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm the fool here. GG's.
Yeah, being gaslit for the crown count. I was right for once. I was right. It doesn't happen often.
He gets one per year.
Yep.
He saved it for December.
Well, you know what we have though. Savage might not be in the finals, but I think we should pull her into the announce booth for the finals. What does everybody else think?
Hey, Savage, if you're here, you're welcome to join us. We can have a 3-person booth.
Let's make this a party.
Anyways, first of all, big shout out to Ook Librarian. Thank you for calling our semifinals. We really, really appreciate you and all the work you've done, as well as all of our other commentators this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
But when we come back here, we are going to get into our championship match. But first, we're going to take a quick break, and Chris Bidwell and I are going to talk about a very special edition to the Dr. Mario Championship. So we hope you could join us for that. It's something to celebrate our past and our future. And if you are out in Columbus, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So shh. But we will be back here in just a few moments for our 2022 Speedrun Championship. Atalito or Inphlox? Who you got, everybody? We'll have that prediction up. This is the Dr. Mario Championship.